Lena loved visiting her grandmother's house. It was a rambling old place full of intriguing nooks and crannies. The attic was her favorite spot. It was full of dusty trunks, cobwebbed furniture, and forgotten treasures. One rainy afternoon, Lena ventured into the attic. She was exploring a new corner, hoping to find something exciting. She noticed a small wooden box tucked away on a shelf. It was covered in dust and looked very old. Curious, Lena brought the box down and blew off the dust. She lifted the lid. Inside, wrapped in a faded velvet cloth, was a key. It was rusty and looked like it hadn't been touched in years. Lena turned the key over in her hands. It was cold and heavy. What did it unlock, she wondered. She ran downstairs, eager to ask her grandmother about her mysterious find. Lena's grandmother was sitting by the window, knitting. She looked up, her eyes twinkling above her spectacles. "What is it, Lena?" she asked, her voice warm and comforting. Lena showed her the key. "I found it in the attic," she explained. "What does it unlock?" Her grandmother's smile faded slightly. She took the key and examined it carefully. A strange look crossed her face. It was a mixture of sadness and something else, something like longing. "Where did you find this, Lena?" she asked, her voice unusually quiet. Lena described the wooden box and where she had found it. Her grandmother listened intently, her brow furrowed in thought. When Lena was finished, she remained silent for a moment, as if lost in thought. Then she sighed and handed the key back to Lena. "It's an old key, Lena," she said, her voice a low murmur. "It unlocks a box in the attic, but some things are best left undisturbed." With that, she went back to her knitting, dismissing Lena's questions. But Lena was not satisfied. Her curiosity was piqued. She was determined to find the box the key unlocked. Back in the attic, Lena searched high and low. Finally, behind a pile of old suitcases, she found it. It was a small wooden chest, its once bright paint now faded and peeling. Lena's heart pounded with anticipation. She slid the key into the lock. It was a perfect fit. With a rusty groan, the lock turned. Lena lifted the heavy lid. Inside, nestled on a bed of faded velvet, were a stack of letters, tied together with a ribbon and a tarnished silver locket. Lena carefully lifted the locket. It was cold to the touch. She pressed the tiny clasp, and it sprang open. Inside were two photographs. One was of a young woman with laughing eyes and a mischievous smile. Lena recognized her instantly. It was her grandmother, many years ago. The other photograph was of a young man. He had kind eyes and a wide, cheerful grin. He wore a straw hat perched jauntily on his head. Lena had never seen him before. Who was he? She began to read the letters, her fingers tracing the faded ink. They were love letters, filled with longing and laughter, hopes and dreams. They told the story of a young woman named Rose and her love for a man named Daniel. As Lena read, the attic faded away. She was transported back in time, caught up in the story unfolding before her.